What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over some numbers for two different games, actually. I was originally just going to make this on Silent Hill 2's remake, and I saw Indiana Jones. I thought, let's make this a two-parter. So I'll have timestamps if you guys want to jump to one or the other. I will start with Silent Hill, and then we'll go to Indy as the second half of the video, okay? So starting with Silent Hill, they announced that the game has reached 2 million units. You know, they reached 1 million pretty quick. Back in the day, it feels like back in the day at this point. I did a video and we talked about, the game reaching 1 million, and I personally call that a success. I think 2 million, well, if I thought 1 million was a success, obviously I have to think 2 million is. I still think it's extremely good. And if you want to think actually just kind of an extension of what we talked about the first time, 2 million, the franchise as a total, right, sold, 8 or 9 million before Silent Hill 2 Remake, so you already got roughly a fourth of the overall sales of the entire franchise just on this thing. I think the people that call it not a success, and it's fine. I mean, look, there's disagreements every day. If you want to say it's not a success, whatever. I think some people take it a little too seriously, but in my opinion, this franchise is not like the biggest franchise of all time. It definitely has like legacy, right? Like you know of it, and it's been around forever, and they've had some really good games and they've had some not so great games, but it's been around forever. But it's not been, you're not talking about a franchise that sold 20, 30, 40 million, right? If we're talking about that, you publish 6 to 8 games or whatever, you sell 40 million all, your newest game sells 2, okay, then I would hear, or I could listen to people say, that's not really that big of a deal. I personally think specifically the way Silent Hill has come back, right, with Ascension, and just, I would overall say not very good, right? This was the real comeback of Silent Hill. Hopefully Silent Hill F can be really, really good, right? But this was really the comeback game. And for it to do around a fourth of what the entire franchise in 20 plus years has done, I personally think that's extremely good. And by the way, it's only been available on 2 of the platforms, right? PlayStation and PC. Now, I don't know if it would get much more if it went on Xbox or if you could get the thing working on Switch, but hey, maybe this is the year, maybe next year you can get on Xbox, you can get on the Switch 2 perhaps, right? Maybe not. But if this thing, if it starts to get to like 3 million, 4 million, you're starting to talk about, a third to even closer to like a half of the overall series in sales. So I personally think Silent Hill is in a really good place, almost solely because of this game, and I'm very happy for it, okay? So I just wanted to say that. Now moving on to Indiana Jones. So this is not sales, and that's something we'll talk about, during this part, but Indy has reached 4 million players worldwide, and I believe that's how they worded it, right? Where it's like it reached the players, or players played it in general. Microsoft did not say sales. Now again, as we've said probably 1,000 times, this is the strategy Microsoft is going for, which it very clearly is. There was the story today about Microsoft being actually the top publisher in December, and actually most of their revenue came on PlayStation. Now, console warriors might have a field day with that, and that's fine, but what that shows, or what that shows to me, is the strategy is working, right? They want to be, in my opinion, more of a publisher versus like a manufacturer of making consoles and stuff. So it's clearly working. 4 million, Indiana Jones. I want to say 4 million copies, but that's probably not, the way you should word it. I think in terms of reaching that many people, pretty good. I think, there's so many people that are on Game Pass. It's like 30 plus million. So, when you look at these subscription services, when you look at, a game on PlayStation sold 2 million units. Well, if you think about it, 2 million, there's like 70 million that have a PS5, right? The attachment rate for games is not high. It's never been high. Yeah, 30 million plus people have Game Pass, 40 plus million people have PS Plus. Does that mean everybody's downloading the PS Plus game of the month? Does that mean everybody's doing the Game Pass game? No, right? The attachment rate is smaller. You probably want it to be as high as possible. And I guess for a thing like Indie, the tough thing that only they would know, right, is like, well, does it drive anything, right? Because I want more. Indiana Jones was a top 5 game to me in 2024. It surprised me in that way. I thought it could be good. Turns out it was excellent, okay? At least in my opinion. So I want more of them. The thing is, it was probably an expensive game. Took them a while, high, it seems like a higher budget type thing, and it reaches 4 million. All right, Is there Game Pass like attachment rate to that, right? Like, did people sign up for Game Pass just to play it? Do they care about that stuff? Is there some hidden number where they're thinking, all right, we wanted to do one, and I think I maybe even threw this number around, right? Maybe they wanted to do 1 or 2 million in sales, and then the rest can just do Game Pass. Maybe they've already done that. I don't know if the game has sold 1 million. I would honestly kind of doubt it. But if the game reached 3.5 million people through Game Pass, 500,000 sales. There was a rumor. I saw one thing just online a few weeks back that the rumor was Indy wasn't selling. It was selling like really, really badly. But, again, like at this point, number one, we don't really know. And number two, well, what if it does, at the end of the day, what if it does 5-6 million people through Game Pass and it sells 1 million, lifetime? Is that good? Because, yeah, I mean, sales-wise, that would be really, really bad, I would say, for a game of this size. But if you got, 5 million people playing it through Game Pass, that's pretty good. At least I think so. So these things are always quite tough, I think. I mean, you can talk about them, but you just don't know the full thing because they don't give you the full info, right? But, 4 million, I think, is a really good starting point, and hopefully it keeps going up. I think it's worth checking out, and I just want more of them, to be honest with you. I don't really care, the impact. I don't care if it drives Game Pass. Doesn't really change my day. I do care, though, if something results in getting an Indy 2 versus not getting an Indy 2. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.